Oh, nice. One of my favorite cards came out, the Starry Sky. We got the Broken Healer. We have the Caged Bird. We have the Open Door. And we have the Lost Child. I'm immediately getting wish fulfillment. And I'm getting wishful thinking, dream fulfillment. Your dreams are coming true. A dream is a wish your heart makes. I'm getting Cinderella. Oh, I'm getting that very strongly. I'm getting Cinderella very strongly. A dream is a wish your heart makes because of the Starry Sky. This is the final card that came out. Can you see it's already a positive reading? But at the very start, we have the Broken Healer. So you've been wounded in some way. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot in a way that I can only sense, but I'm getting the energy. You keep your emotions in check, and I mean, you're not easily vulnerable with people, but you are very sensitive. You're a very sensitive soul, and you've gotten hurt in some way, shape, or form. But because you've been hurt, you know what it's like to be hurt, but you pass on positive energy to people because you don't want them to feel the way that you felt, if that makes any sense. Because hurt people, right? But there's two types. So people who receive hurt, they either make sure that other people don't feel that way, so they're more sensitive, or they become people who hurt other people. So that's what happens. But I'm getting that you're a kind soul. You're a kind soul. And because of the hurt that you've been through, you don't open up to people that easily. I'm getting the strong sense that you don't communicate your feelings well. So I think it's because you don't want to hurt other people, and so you feel that you're trapped in a sense, not literally, but I'm getting when you're talking to friends or family members or whoever that you communicate with, those around you, because you've been hurt in some way, you're very afraid of hurting other people, so you're not communicating your feelings. You could be life past 7. That is coming on very strongly, actually. That's very oddly specific because I don't usually get numbers for these cards, but I'm getting it could be 7. In 7, they struggle. Let me know if you're life past 7, because they struggle with, they're very skeptical, not skeptical, they're very suspicious of letting people in, and so they keep themselves to themselves. They have a very strong, not strong mind, they have a very open mind. They have so many ideas, but sometimes they don't communicate. They don't say everything that they want to say. That's what I'm strongly getting here. That's to do with the cage. The cage could mean something else entirely, but in this case, I'm getting, because you've been hurt, you're very sensitive. You don't want people to feel hurt, and you let people express themselves. They can be themselves around you, but you can't be yourself around them. So you kind of keep a distance, but that's in itself is a sense of being trapped in a way, because you're not really yourself. So this isn't a terrible, this isn't wholeheartedly terrible. It's just the energy that I'm getting here. But I think if you open yourself up, this is very strongly to a life path 7 here, but you could be a life path 7, or the number 7 could be significant for you, but I'm getting strongly that I'm speaking to a life path 7. I think if you open up to people, but take your time with it, but I'm getting the sense that you've been wounded in some way and you're sensitive, and maybe open up to someone in the past that took a lot of, you invested in a lot of them, and you really emotionally invested in them, but that's not reciprocated, and that's really hurt you. Because I'm getting the sense that, because I know 7s, they're very sensitive and they don't show it, but they are very sensitive, and even they get misunderstood. But with this card, is the 3rd card. If you open yourself up to people, I would say it's I'm getting the message to learn. The message is, the encouragement is an encouragement to learn to open up to people despite the fear of being hurt. That is what I'm strongly getting. I'm very strongly getting that. This is a very specific message to a very specific group of people. You don't have to be a 7, but I'm getting 7 here. These cards are very tied very nicely together. Learn how to open up to people despite the fear, because everyone has a fear of being vulnerable and the things that they say, and they might articulate the ideas, and people might regret that they're sharing their ideas. I'm gonna, if you do that, the right group of people will come to you. The right group of people, because not everyone's gonna accept you for who you are, but there are people who will accept you for who you are if you express your ideas and will listen to you. That's why by doing that, the door's gonna open. This door here, opening up to people, brings in, I'm not getting opportunities, I'm getting that it'll bring in people that resonate with you, and they'll listen to you and they accept you for who you are, even if you're talkative and you're not, for your ideas and thoughts. They're not gonna judge you. And this could be, I'm getting this with this lost child, is tied to the broken healer in some way. This is the fourth card that came out. So it could be tied to when you were a child, you like to yap a lot, because you could be 7, as I said, but you would yap a lot, you would yap about your ideas, and you're a very deep thinker. But sometimes because you're so deep, it might be coming off as intense to people. People think, whoa, this is a bit too much. But you're the kind of person that you can't do surface level relationships. You just cannot. You can't do, you crave deep connections. This is a very specific message. It's very, very specific. It could be that as a child, you could be, as I said, you could talk a lot, but because people around you think, oh, why are they thinking like this, or why are they talking like this? Is a bit too much. This is a bit abnormal. This is a bit strange, and that's caused you to clam up a bit, and you end up just being introverted, more than ever before, and that sort of blocks you from wanting to talk as much as you wish. You really want to talk, but you don't feel comfortable doing that, because as a child you've been either judged, or you've been judged. Maybe people thought you were strange for talking about your ideas, and you ended up just holding yourself back as a kid. But because now it's a different phase in your life, so maybe that if your inner child has been wounded because of that, I'm getting that it's been a couple of years. Some time has passed since then. So in a different phase of your life, you could be in your late 20s or 30s, or you could be just starting your 20s. So you're not in the same phase, and people think differently as they grow older. So you're going to attract different people, that you're going to find your tribe, if that makes sense. And it's going to open doors for you. It's going to make you feel fulfilled, and it's going to heal that part of you that's been wounded, because you were silenced in a way. You had to pretend to be like everybody else, essentially. But it's very hard for you because you're very authentic. And I think that is probably one of your dreams. That's the wish. It's giving, as I said, it's giving Cinderella. But it's not about, it could be finding a romantic person. So I didn't really expect a love reading, but it's a possible. I'm getting the energy that it could be a love reading, a love scenario where you find that person that accepts you for who you are, and they let you talk, and you can talk, and you talk, and they don't judge. It doesn't matter how taboo the subject is, or you can literally talk about anything, and that's probably the person for you. You dream for that person. I think I'm getting the sense with this card, you dream to be with that person you can be safe around, and you can talk anything about too. And they'll even listen to your ideas, and maybe even you can have really deep conversations with them. I think that's the dream I'm getting. You really want to find that someone, and I'm getting that that's what you will receive with this card, because Cinderella, she found her prince, right? But of course gender doesn't matter in this case. It's just a concept that I'm getting here. Take it how it resonates, as I said, but I'm getting mostly because Cinderella has found the prince, and she can be herself around the prince. The prince doesn't judge her for who she is, and she's a servant girl, right? Confirmation verb, it's literally you're gonna find that person that you can be yourself around, because Cinderella could be herself around the prince, and he doesn't care what background she's from. He just likes her. This person's basically going to not necessarily accept your ideas, but they're willing to listen to your ideas. They're willing to listen to you talk. I'm very talking specifically to life path 7s here, but it doesn't have to be, because it could be to do with your astrological chart. The combinations could make you resonate to a 7, but not entirely. But there's some bits in terms of introvertedness and being misunderstood in some way, because I know 7s, they feel misunderstood in some way.